what helps you get through that kind of an experience, what stands out in my mind after this thing happening. I've been home from there 37 years ago, so I'm pretty much normal. I think all of us are crazy, but and then maybe just comment a little bit about how military service changed me. And if I haven't warned you all, then bear on me. Refer to a talk that I wrote for the students at Clearfield High School shortly after I got back, which I have a little more of the sense of the experience of being a prisoner of war, because to me now it's like I read a book about somebody else. I really don't feel it. But what stands out in my mind is waking up on a hillside, on a wooded hillside in North Vietnam, very near the China border, and wondering what I was doing there, because I had no memory of anything that had happened before. And that was the start of my 2,029 days of captivity. And that's why this was such a great experience, to celebrate another year of freedom. And so I'm now celebrating 37. Another thing that sticks in my mind is how long a bad day can be. You know, the clock just keeps doing the same thing, but what goes on with us isn't the same, because a good day sure flies by, and a bad day can be forever. So somebody wrote a story about D-Day and called it the longest day. I just know it's like a year in a POW situation in North Vietnam, about a year from when the sun goes down to when it comes back up again. And it's nearly that long again from when it comes up until it goes down. And then another lasting thought was getting out of Vietnam. If there was a bad day, then you can be sure that the good day is going to be beyond your expectations, and being released and free was a remarkable sensation. And seeing my family after not being there for 6 Christmases was a moment of joy. And then just actually getting into my home. You know, I was always kind of leery. With my luck, I probably won't make it from the airport to my home, but yeah, I really did when I finally put my foot inside the door at home. And so I hope those are things that we're all appreciative of every day: our freedom, our family, and our homes. I think this whole experience changed me more than I realized. Sometimes I say, I went to Vietnam a fighter pilot. I came back a born-again American. You see, I think that started on a Sunday 43 years ago. It was in the annex, a camp south of Hanoi. The night before, 4 of us, 3 Air Force types and a Navy guy, had heard steps coming down towards our cell door, and the jangle of keys pile of items were thrown on the floor, and we sorted out something like a slip-on t-shirt and put it on. And our hands were tied and blindfolded, and they put into our arms a rolled up straw mat. And we stumbled out the door, and stumbled down this corridor, and we tripped and stumbled into a truck and bounced for an hour or so, leaving the Hanway Hilton and going to the annex. When the bouncing stopped, we stumbled out and tripped up a couple of steps into the room that we would spend the next 2 years in. Our hands were untied, and they took off the blindfold and looked at each other. And my roommates then were Conrad Troutman, who got there the same way I did, flying an F-105. Another Air Force guy, Jerry Gurnt, who rode an F-4 into North Vietnam. And a Navy guy, Mike McGrath, grew up in Delta, Colorado, flying a Navy A-4. He had been there the longest. Well, we laid down. The floor was tile. We hurt. It hurt. The tossing, turning night was interrupted by someone banging on a bucket out with a stick to wake us up. And as we tried to rub and stretch out the soreness in our body and try to get our fingers and hands, which were inoperative, to work, we talked. And Mike, the Navy pilot, said, you know, I think I've heard a thump on the wall on Sundays, and I think it's church call. And I look at Mike, well, I haven't experienced anything like that, but I could have hugged him. And so we thought we'd join in that tradition. And so there was a discussion, well, what should we do, and what, and so on. And we finally decided, well, let's just say the Lord's Prayer together. And well, should we do that still sitting down, or should we stand up? And so we decided to stand up, and we were just in these shorts that the Vietnamese had given us. And in that rolled up thing, straw mat, they had given us a pair of pajamas. And out of Connie's suggestion, he said, we ought to cover up a little bit. And so we put on that top of that pajama and said together the Lord's Prayer, and I was about ready to pull that off, and Connie said, there's something else we ought to do. And I said, what? And he suggested, well, we ought to pledge allegiance